know somebody's been telling you secrets.
No, I saw you put the wig on.
Okay, so here's the first question. Who am I?
Where's Dad?
Well, yes, of course, Dad. Okay. What?
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah, I'm a mad scientist. A mad scientist. So I am the Hollywood version of a scientist, or also maybe Albert Einstein, right? Huh? Yeah, Dr. Frankenstein. Okay. So why am I dressed like this? Because it's Science Day, right? This is what scientists look like. What do you mean, no? No, it's not Science Day? Well, but I agree that this is not what scientists look like. Because I am a scientist.
Really?
Yes, I really am. So when I go to work, huh?
That's what mad science.
Right. Well, I've been a mad scientist before, too. When I go to work, I do science. I really do. My job, which is at a company called Multicolor, is to do some development, product development, of different types of labels. And the items you see on the table in front of you are all examples of packaging. And these packagings, they all need a label of some kind. And in this case, we're going to talk today about different kinds of labels. And in particular, we're going to talk about a special kind of label on this bottle. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am Forrest's dad, as you guys probably knew. And I went to school for a long, long time to study to be a scientist. I went to school for 20 years. I have a doctorate. I have a PhD. How long did I go to school? I went to school for almost 20 years, studied chemistry and math. And my goal today, and maybe the goal of Science Day, is to get you guys excited about science. Coming out of here, I want you to be so excited about science, you keep studying chemistry and math and physics and go off and do science. So that's my real goal. Okay, so let's talk about some of the packaging that's up here. All of these things have something in common. They are all include a part of them that is made of what? Plastic. Okay. All of them have plastic. Here's an example. The whole container is plastic. The label is plastic. Here's an example. The container is plastic. This is a special kind of plastic. It's called a shrink sleeve. That's a special kind of label. Here's an example of another container. This is glass, but the plastic for the label. And so we want to talk about plastics. And the reason we want to talk about plastics is because they're in so many different objects that you come into contact every day. When you go to the supermarket, a lot of things are made of plastic. So maybe we can use the example that you might know, which is a water bottle. This is a plastic. Does anybody know what kind of plastic this is? Anybody? You know. Yeah, I know you know. Go ahead, answer. Polymer. It's a polymer, and it's a special polymer. It's called PET. How do you know it's PET? How do you know it's PET? On the bottom. What's on the bottom, usually? I need some involvement from you. What's on the bottom? You guys are getting worn out. Oh, I see Johnstone. It just needs to answer. I pick you. This is Johnstone. What's on the bottom?
Is it the one that tells what recycles it?
Yes, absolutely. It's got a recycle code on the bottom. And so the recycle code on the bottom tells you that this is PET. It's number 1. Here's another example. This has got a recycle code on it. It's got a number 2, which is high-density polyethylene. So it's a different polymer. So this is a plastic, and this is a plastic. They're different plastics. People use different plastics for different reasons. In some cases, we want the performance of PET, and in some cases, we want the performance of high-density polyethylene. And so I want to talk to you about what is a plastic. So you guys had a states of matter discussion, and maybe talked about what makes up matter, and what makes up liquid, and what makes up gas. So polymers, or plastics, are special kinds of materials. And I am going to talk to you about what makes a polymer. and a plastic. Do you know what an atom is? Does anybody know what an atom is? I'm not going to ask you, Mr. Forrest. You.
Like there's an atom is like there's two atoms that are bonded together.
Oh, I like that. Where you're going. Okay. So atoms bonded together make up everything around you. Everything you see is made of atoms, and plastics are a special kind of form of a whole bunch of atoms. If I took a whole bunch of atoms and lined them up in a row, I get a really long chain that we can call a polymer or a plastic. So what I want you to think about a plastic, I want you to have a model in your head of a bowl of spaghetti, because that's a really good model for a polymer. So what's in the bowl? That's right. Okay, so here we go. Here's our model for a polymer. So this is wonderful. Here I have some long chains that represent the polymer, each individual polymer molecule. And it's a long chain molecule, and it's all connected together. It's all entangled. And so that's a really special property of polymers. They have entanglements, or they're all tied in knots. So I'm going to show you something else that's also entangled. You also probably see this, yeah, right, a rubber band, right? So what happens when I stretch it out? It stretches. What happens if I let go?
It flings. It flings across the room.
It flings across the room, that's true. It relaxes and returns to its original state. So here it is, stretched out. Here it is, relaxed. Well, you want to say something? Go ahead. It bends. Yes, sure, okay. I agree. And when it relaxes, it wants to go back to its original state. All of these molecules were stretched out, and they didn't want to be stretched out. They wanted to be relaxed. Okay, so let's use this property, this stretching and relaxing, in a craft. I'm going to need a volunteer. I'm going to pick you because I feel like I picked on you a little bit. So what I want you to do is, what's your name?
Yeah.
Oh, you have been picked a lot. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Jade. Thank you.
That's good. I'm glad you... What's your name? Okay. Would you do me a favor? Could you write your name?
It's over there. It's on your side.
Oh, here it is. Could you write your name on this piece of plastic? She has a version of the same thing that I have in this bag. And the version that I have in this bag, does anybody know what this is? It's a tiger, that's right. Trying to be a Loveland tiger. What is the tiger printed on? Plastic, and it's a special craft. Have you guys done any crafts with something that looks like this? And I'm not going to ask you. What?
In art, like we took those. She gave us and then we put them behind the glasses.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So now this is a. Have you guys ever heard of Shrinky Dinks?
Yeah.
You've heard of Shrinky Dinks. Okay, so this is a Shrinky Dink. What Aurora has is also a Shrinky Dink, and we are going to do some Shrinky Dinks. So let's do the Shrinky Dink. I happen to have a high-powered heater here. This is nice because this will heat the Shrinky Dink up, and eventually he'll shrink, and we'll also do Aurora's game. I'm trying to do him slowly because he's going to want to curl up like a potato chip, which is kind of disappointing. He might want to stick to himself. So maybe if I can get him to... Don't stick to yourself, tiger. Uh-oh. He's curling up. Don't curl up. Let go, little buddy. Okay, we're going to save him. All right, so now he is shrinking down to the size of a...
He'll show you.
Careful,
Sit down.
careful,
Sit
careful,
down.
because this is
He'll show
pretty
you.
hot. In fact, I'm going to turn it up. and see
Sit
if I
down.
can-
He will show you.
Okay. I'll set this over here. Let me put him on the table. Put your name in the Pyrex dish also. Okay, so now I'm hoping to avoid shrinking Aurora into a potato chip because she's going to want to. If I get there slowly.